Yeah, good morning, guys. So it's Sunday, November 30th, I believe. My buddy didn't call me to work on his truck, so that means I got time to do what I want to do. So, been poking around at the old 33 here. I got all the underbody scraped off and the two rear wheel wells. And I knew there was some rot in here, but not too bad. I got this piece here. It's kind of Swiss cheese, so I'll cut this out. Make a new piece for that. Otherwise, the rest of it's actually, perfect. And on the other side, it's just a little piece right here, a little holy. I'll just probably take it from right here and make that. And then there's one hole here. I think I can just weld that up. So that's all on this side. This side's good. This one had a lot of that tar on there. Talk about pain in the butt to scrape off, but got off. And let's see, I get the motor sitting where it's supposed to be sitting, bolted back up. I don't know, I don't think the guy knew how to drill holes because the holes in the front don't even come close once I center it in the frame. So I gotta fix that yet. But I just want to temporarily get it in there. It's also leaning a little bit this way. So I gotta shim this up or see why it's, start taking some more measurements. But just wanted to see where exactly it would sit. Still kind of close. I have to radius that little bit there once I get the body off. Otherwise it seems to clear. And more investigating in the floor here. I think I told in the first video of this car, the guy put a nice, sheet metal floor in, all the way to the back. There's 1x1 square tubing, for the skeleton. But the only problem is it's not attached. It's just, it's floating. All the 2x2 or 1x1 tubing pretty much ends right about here. And this piece of sheet metal isn't, it's not, this is wood. He didn't bring it to the metal, and he didn't attach it to nothing. So pretty much from here to about there, this whole piece is just hovering. So I gotta fix that. We can't have that. But we're gonna start chopping into this thing. Got the old plasma cutter here ready to go. So time to make the first cut and proceed. So stay tuned. Alright, we're gonna start the wood on fire. That's good. Okay, so got the bad piece cut out, ground up here pretty good. A little bit charring of the wood, but nothing started on fire. Got my new piece kind of bent up here. I kind of goes in here like so. Still got a little fine trimming to do yet, but it is really close. So we'll fit that a little better and then weld her in. Okay, so it's welded in, ground up, pounded out to some of the warps, but not too bad. Actually turned out pretty darn good. Pretty happy with it. So, a little bit of lead back in here. I had to melt out and then grind out the rest of it, so I'll have to fix that, but not a big deal. But it takes care of this wheel. So, on to the next part. Okay, so moving on to the floor in this thing. Like I said, this piece that was here, none of this is attached. It's just all just sitting there. And of course when it came over with the metal, it blocked all the body mount holes. And that's, I need this one and I need that one. So I just cut it out. And like I said, none of this back here is attached. I know it's hard to see that this isn't moving in the video, but trust me, nothing is attached until way up here and somebody put a screw into the wood. Otherwise this whole piece of floor is floating until here. I mean, they got 1-inch tubing running, you know, and there's X's in here, but it's not attached to nothing. So I got a couple ideas here, but I'll show you what I gotta do on the bottom here, because this looks a little funky too, so hang on. Okay, so now we're under the car, and you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. Maybe I'll get the light so you guys can see something. But yeah, this whole floor, everything is painted red, which is the floor of this thing, isn't really connected. And they get a hunk of fire hose that the body's supposed to be sitting on, which, okay, I get that. Only problem is, the body's not sitting on this fire hose from about, here. And it doesn't sit on it until kinda right there, but it's not really. And this whole floor isn't doing anything. And the next spot where it's actually sitting is way in the back. So for the most part, from the back all the way to the door pillar, this whole floor is, the body's not sitting on the frame like it should be. So I don't know if they just didn't think about that. I don't know what these cars would have been like with the original wood floor, because I didn't take this apart. But the piece of wood that's, you know, here, it's sitting on that piece of wood. I'll get the light over here. And it's sitting on the fire hose. So that I got. And the body mounts in that hole right there. Somebody boxed this frame in. Originally it wouldn't have been boxed. It's got a nice tranny mount, whoever did that. So my plan of attack here, and I just came up with this like 4 seconds ago, but I got this hunk of tubing here. I'll obviously get a longer one, but that fits in between the floor and that fire hose, kind of tight. Might have to shim it a little bit more, but at least that way. And then once I tie the floor to that piece of wood, and then I'm probably going to tie it to the body mounts and then to the rocker panel on the other side, along with the door pillar here. There's a metal bracket there. You can kind of see through the hole there. I'm going to tie this into that and then gusset, and then take this piece of tubing, I got some longer ones, and run that the whole length, at least to here before the frame kicks up for the rear axle. And then I think I'm going to cut one for here, and it's flange that they made when they made the floor. So it's at least sitting there. I'll weld that on and probably put one up there. At least then the body's sitting. You're not relying on the sheet metal on the roof of the car to keep it, you know, structure. I'm sure these cars rely on the frame more than anything, just like most of these old cars. So that's probably going to be my plan of attack. Oh, here's the rear end. Pretty sure it's a Nova rear end. Not sure in the year yet. It's got all the brake lines run, but I found a lot of bugs in them, so I'll be ripping the rest of them out and at least blowing them out. If they look clean in the inside after that, then we'll reuse them. And the gas line, that's pretty rusty, so I just ripped that out completely. So alright, that's where I'm at.